Here are 6 bodyweight shoulder exercises that'll help with your shoulder flexibility, mobility, as well as your endurance and control, making your shoulders stronger and reducing daily shoulder pain and tightness. Let's dive in. Crab bridge. Get into a seated crab position. Hands shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart. Retract your scapula by pulling your shoulders back and down. Push your hips up, forming a straight line from your shoulders, hips, and knees. Your shoulders should also remain stacked over your wrist at the top of the movement. You'll feel this mainly in the side of your chest near your armpits. This is your pec minor muscle, which, if tight, can be a huge factor in shoulders rolling forward. If this move is too difficult, work on your range of motion through seated shoulder extensions, where instead of driving your hips up, you drive your hips horizontally to your ankles. This will start to unlock your shoulders and open them up. Get comfortable here and work your way up to the crab bridge. The reverse plank is an excellent progression to start to add load to your shoulders and increase their endurance. Sit on the floor with your legs together and straight out in front of you. Place your arms behind you and shoulder width apart. Drive your hips up just like in the previous movement, again creating a straight line. You should remain on the heels of your feet, so if you feel yourself swaying forward or backwards, try to align yourself. With this, our shoulders are taking on more weight than the previous movement since we need to work harder to keep our hips extended and body balanced. And again, remember to keep those shoulders pulled back. This will start to unglue those tight muscles in your chest and shoulders, but you will also feel this in your triceps, core, and glutes. Reverse plank lean, a powerful movement that combines the crab bridge and reverse plank. In the same reverse plank position, drive your hips to your ankles, bending at the knees, then back to the starting reverse plank position. This requires a lot of stabilization from your shoulders and some hip and core strength as well. Remember not to overextend in either direction. You want to keep your shoulders engaged throughout the entire movement. If you overextend, you'll lose balance or take the weight out of your shoulders. So far, we focused on opening up those shoulders when reaching behind you. Now let's transition to the muscles involved when lifting our shoulders above us, starting with the plank to downward dog. Start in the plank position with your arms extended and shoulders aligned, stacked above your wrists. Engage your shoulders and core, not letting either sag at this starting position. Press your hips back and push away with your arms, sliding your shoulders down towards your hips, creating an upside down V shape. Then lower back down into the starting position. If this position feels too tight, it's okay to bend at the knees. That way the focus can remain on getting the full range of motion out of your shoulders as opposed to your potentially tight hamstrings or calves. You can start with your knees bent in both the starting plank and ending downward dog position, then progress to starting in a full plank and keeping your knees only bent in the second half of the movement. In any variation, you're going to feel this in your shoulders, but also the top of your T-spine, traps, and lats. The elevated plank to down dog is a progression from that standard plank to down dog that we just did, and it places more weight on your front delts. This is the same movement as before, but this time we're elevating our feet. The higher the elevation, the harder the movement. Lead this movement with your hips. Don't think about trying to push your hips up. Really, you're using your hips to pull themselves up and shifting the weight to your shoulders. The elevated pike hold, the ultimate movement to really push your shoulder strength and endurance. We'll be using that full range of motion that we just unlocked, loading our shoulders with our own body weight and forcing them to balance us. Start by elevating your feet and getting into a plank position. Walk yourself back until you are vertical, about 90 degrees at the hip, creating a straight body line. You're going to walk back further than you did in the plank to downward dog. This is going to make the move tighter and place all of the weight directly above our shoulders in a straight line. Engage your traps to help your shoulders push into the ground. Squeeze at your core and hold this position. Think about not just holding your body up, but pushing your body up. Try to hold this position for at least 10 seconds, then move to 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Keep working your way up and refining your form. Use these strength and endurance exercises as a standalone routine or add it to your usual shoulder stretching routine, which if you need a deep stretch for your shoulders, I got you. check out this video right here, which complements this one nicely. Either way, drink more water and have a great day.